Hey Beacons, welcome back to the Larry brand. How did your day go? Parenting is one of the most rewarding experiences there is, but at the same time, it can be incredibly challenging from caring for the children to taking care of the household, ranging from chores, management, organization, planning, errands, and what have you. It can be very, very challenging, and having to work outside the home too. Some people work three jobs and run multiple shifts a day. All these can lead to parental burnout. Join us on this video today as we delve into the meaning of parental burnout, the causes and symptoms, and the impact it will have on the children and the family, and how you can overcome or prevent parental burnout. What is parental burnout? It is simply exhaustion, whether it's emotional, mental, or even physical. You've been doing so much for so long, and then all of a sudden you're tired. You're so tired that the spirit is willing, but the body is not. You you find yourself snapping very easily. You're now less patient with the children and even people around you, especially at work. Could it be that you're burned out, or you're getting there, or you're headed in that direction? What are the causes? Before we proceed, if you know anybody who would be interested in this topic or would find value in this video rather, kindly share, click on the share button and bring them on here so that they will get value too. What are the causes of parental burnout? Number one on the list is high parental workload. As parents, whether moms or dads, we wear a lot of hats. We're parents first. No, we're individuals first, and then we're parents, and then as individuals, we're brothers or sisters or relations or friends or in-laws or teachers or stay-at-home folks. Whichever hat you're wearing, it's a lot. Some people feel like when you're a stay-at-home parent, you really do not do much, but then I think the situation will speak for itself, that you are at home does not mean that there's really not much to do. But that's not our focal focus for today. Now, you're juggling a whole lot. You're having to do so many things, be so many people at the same time, and you are constantly racing against a 24-hour clock, which means that you have to, maybe if you are very big on personal development, you have to do everything you need to do for yourself. You have to take care of the kids. For some people, they do not even have helps. They don't have people who help them out. There's so much going on. There's a lot. There's a whole lot. Apart from work, apart from what you need to do for yourself, having a social life too. Sometimes we don't even have the time to socialize because we are going through a whole lot. We are juggling too many balls at the same time, and sometimes some of the balls fall down and unconsciously, it's not like it's deliberate, some glass balls fall down. That term will be a very, very common term with the lorry brand because everything boils back to identifying what your glass balls are, those important ones that when they drop, they will shatter. Those ones are the ones you should focus more on. Maybe we should call them the 20% in the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, where you 80% of the results you get is as a result of the 20% of the work you do. So what is your 20%? What are those activities you do daily that your 20%? High parental workload will make you burn out. However efficient or dogged or gritty you are, if you're juggling too much, you are definitely going to burn out at some point. The next one on the list is a lack of support systems and structures. James Clear said in his book, I think the Atomic Habits, that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the levels of your system, to the level of your systems. What systems have you in place to make sure that you do not burn out? Now, in case you do not have a nanny or somebody who comes to take care of, manage the home or take care of the household, do you have maybe a daycare center you could leave your kids at so that you could do things. Are they in school for a certain period of time? What can you get done within that the hours that they are away? And then how do you factor in rest? You see, when you do not have systems in place, when you do not have structures in place, and then when you do not have, okay, of course, support system, apart from support systems, systems on which your entire parenting bedrock lies, you will definitely burn out because you'll be a lone wolf and a one-man squad. Definitely, at some point, you are going to drop that a lot of glass balls, a lot of them. Maybe you, the most important part of this equation, because you cannot give what you do not have, you cannot pour out from an empty cup. Another reason why parents burn out is parenting challenges in themselves. Your children are always throwing tantrums. They are unruly. They are scattered. Apart from, let's say the negative aspects. Maybe you are a new mom. You just had a baby and you babies just somehow wake up when you're about to sleep. Who else has noticed that? Moms, dads, have you had that experience? The moment you are done with everything, like okay, maybe you're vacuuming or running the washing machine or the dryer, they don't wake up with all that loud noise. They'll be asleep. The moment you are done and you say, okay, now I want to rest, guess what? Those eyes pop open and it's like you're starting your day or your night afresh. Who else can relate? Please let me know in the comments below because it has happened to me several times. I feel like, gosh, why now? Okay, so parenting challenges can actually make you burn out. Okay, well, sometimes it's because the children are or one of your children is strong-willed. Dealing with them can be a handful, and then their age too. When they talk about terrible twos, maybe when they're 2 or 4, they can be very strong-willed, highly opinionated, wanting to be independent, trying to do things for themselves. They most of the times do not even know how to do. Another reason why you burn out as a parent is that you set unrealistic expectations. Now, very recently, I I said intentionally have setting my tasks, monitoring with to-do lists. There were times I loaded my day too much. And at the end of the day, when I was taking inventory, I realized that some goals were unrealistic. Within a time frame I had to get things done, those goals should not have fit into my schedule for the day. Are your goals for yourself this period unrealistic? Are you currently in a phase or season in your family life where you do not need to take on maybe short-term or long-term jobs or shifts? You really need to monitor and observe where you are on your journey. You will not perform optimally using another person's journey as a benchmark. You need to be true to yourself, sincere with yourself, and know where you are on your journey. If your expectations are unrealistic, if you're setting goals that are unrealistic, definitely you will burn out because you find yourself racing against the clock and trying to do too much in very little time. Another reason why you burn out as a parent is lack of proper planning and organization. I think that's number 6. You are not planning properly. You're not planning properly. You don't even have a plan. What's your plan for me? What have you set out to do as a parent? What are your parenting goals, for instance? What are your personal goals? What are the goals for your household? What do you expect that at the end of the month of May should be done? Maybe in learning, in whatever aspect of your family life. I've come to realize that a lot of people just wake up and then they go about their day with no anchor, with no roadmap, with no plan. So how do you now test it? How do you evaluate your day and see what worked and what didn't? How do you evaluate your day and see what you should do better the next day? The only competition you have is yourself being better tomorrow than you were today and even yesterday. So if you do not have plans in place, how do you set goals, and how do you measure to see that if you are doing well, or if you need to buckle up or maybe maintain or sustain that energy level. And then if you do not have organization skills, I'm sorry, you're going to definitely burn out. Imagine this. I'll paint you two scenarios. Scenario one: Mom A has OCD. She color codes everything. If you're looking for black socks, just pull out the drawer. Black is on the left, red is in the middle, and pink is on the right. She knows where her cutlery, her children's lunch boxes, cutlery, every single thing they use every single day is. She knows where they are, rather. She knows where their uniforms or their shoes are. Even the children know where to go to when they're looking for anything at all. What happens? When they wake up in the morning, the children of mom A, they are able to follow a laid down routine that has become unconsciously ingrained into them, that's become unconsciously a part of them. They wake up in the morning like clockwork, they brush their teeth, okay, they say a prayer, lay their beds, brush their teeth, hit the showers, get ready for school, take breakfast, make breakfast for themselves, take breakfast, and then in that order. What do you think would be like the flow in the mornings? Will the children be cranky or grumpy or irritable? Will the mom have to be shouting on top of her lungs, go and look for your shoes, the school bus is almost here, go and check, it's under the bed, it's on top of the table, it's inside the microwave? Seriously, what do you think their mornings will be like? Now let me venture the scenario for mom number two. Mom number two has zero organization skills. She doesn't know what's going to be for breakfast, and then in the morning she has to sit down and start cracking her head. She doesn't even know if she has the ingredients, to make whatever meal she now decides on the spot to make. And let's say by a stroke of luck, she knows she has these ingredients. What happens? Next thing is the children do not know what they ought to do when they wake up. So they start shouting, Mommy, where is my toothbrush? She tells them to go and shower, and then she's screaming on top of her lungs. She will wear herself out because she does not have organization skills. She does not have the systems in place to seamlessly run our home. Or what do you think? Let me know. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. The next one is emotional challenges. That's a big one. However organized you are, however meticulous you are, your emotions can actually really mess you up if you do not have a hang on them. You see, the thing is that your emotions can flip on you, flip like without notice. You are having a zen morning. You have meditated, you've prayed, you are centered on one very positive thought for the day. You have listened to the most edifying music for your spirit. And then you wake up your child. From nowhere, the child is really grumpy and very irritable. There's no can do attitude. It's just like 360 degrees, 100% cranky. It starts with, I cannot find this, I will not do that, I am better, and then very sluggish, lackadaisical, laissez-faire attitude. You are still holding yourself. I am zen, I am calm, I am peaceful, I am in control of my emotions. You are there and there and there, and all of a sudden, maybe on her or his or her uniform, she spills something that will make you have to start afresh. That doesn't rile you up. You don't tell this child, okay, I would patiently remove the shirts, change, and let's continue with our morning. After changing it, guess what? She spills breakfast. You have to go back again. And then after changing, what happens? This child cannot find her shoes, and it's time to go. At that moment, no matter how fully centered you are, no matter how in control of your emotions you are, please tell me, won't you lose it? I know there are a few parents who can even get that far before they bust out. You see, a lot of challenges, apart from the fact that the children can get in your face, you are dealing with your own hormones that are getting in the way, your brain is shooting cortisol. There are a lot of things that are going on. You're thinking of where the cash for the next bill is coming from. You're thinking of so many things and they're getting you all worked up. That's not, yeah, your nerves are raw, and that's not a time at all for you to get triggered in any way. So emotional challenges can actually make you burn out fast, especially if you do not know how to control, regulate, or manage them. What are the symptoms of what are the symptoms of parental burnout? How do you know that you are burned out, or you are getting there, or you're headed in that direction? Number one, emotional exhaustion or irritability. Little things just get you really, really pissed off. Something that would ordinarily make you smile with your child or at your child will get you really mad and furious. You get very, very impatient. You are very, very tired very easily, and then whew, you don't know what to do. You cannot place it, but there's just something wrong. There's something really, 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 really wrong with how you feel. It's not maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, you are currently on a 4, but it is building up. Number two is a reduced sense of accomplishment. The things that you ordinarily used to get done in whatever time frame, you cannot accomplish fully, even given more time. The things you could readily or easily do, you're finding yourself very reluctant to do them. The thing you would do like with unconscious competence, they just come to you naturally. You're finding yourself struggle, like you're pushing yourself, you're putting yourself, you just cannot get yourself to deliver. Then the next one is reduced performance. Your performance level goes from a 10 to maybe a 6. Maybe when it's on a 9, you may not notice. It's just a little shift, right? Gradually it's plummeting and then it gets to a 6. From 6 is heading down really fast towards a 4. What then happens? How do you cope? How do you manage? If you have noticed, what do you do? Why don't you continue watching so that we'll find out? And before we continue, if you are finding value so far, kindly click on the subscribe button, like this video, and comment, because it will help us go higher on the search algorithm, and then help push this video faster to people who need it, people like you who are currently getting value. Don't keep us as your best kept secret. Please shine the spotlight on us and help us get more people to view this video. Thank you very much. Now the final symptom of parental burnout is depression. That's like the peak, like that's like the height of it. In Nigeria, we'll say the odogu of it all. Like that's just the masquerade. That's just like the biggest. You may not notice you have lack of, like, a very, very diminishing interest in the things that used to make you very happy. You just want to hide in your dark corner in the room and you don't want to see anybody. The things that used to make you laugh now even irritate the heck out of you. You just don't have the zeal. You don't want, once it's morning and your alarm goes off, you're like, not again. You're so sad and angry, and you just want to be by yourself, curl up in your shell and just be there. If it was just you, there become all these would have been okay. I would not have a problem with it. I tell the parents around me that you are not my problem, really. It is the effect or impact of whatever you do on the children that concerns or affects me. And so for those children, I will fight you for their sakes. I will fight you for their sakes. I will make sure that you get back up on that your horse and tell the horse the master is get back on track and put your best foot forward and get better. And what are the impacts of all these, the symptoms? All the symptoms, how do they affect your children? How do they affect your family? The first one is emotional distress. Now, imagine bleeding on the children that did not cut you or on your spouse. They are the very first people to get feedback from however you're feeling. Good morning, mommy. Good morning. Okay, they are sensing the energy. Energy is just like respect. Give it, get it. If you give, in Nigeria, we say buzz, buzz. If you give negative energy, trust me, you're going to receive it almost immediately. Now, the children are suffering emotionally because you are not present, you are not in the mind space to love upon them, to care about the little details that actually make them very, very happy. You see, it bothers me a lot when when children have to go to school in the morning feeling down. It kind of sets the pace for their entire day. Now think about it yourself. You wake up and you're very cranky and you're sad and everything. You're feeling frustrated and disappointed or whatever emotion it is. There's nobody there to walk. Um, there's nobody there for you to walk you out of it, to talk you out of it, or to help you feel better. What happens? You go about your day, you go into your day, start your day like that, and then it continues, and then it continues to peak until a point where you just drop the ball, like you cannot keep it together again, you just explode. So imagine how it is for children who do not even maybe understand how they feel or cannot even find the word, the vocabulary to name that particular emotion. They can't tell you, mommy, I'm sad. Okay, maybe they know sad. They can't tell you they are frustrated or anxious, but they just carry this feeling. But because you are also not in your right state of mind, right, in your centered place, what happens? You don't pick up on these signs that you ordinarily would have gotten, these cues, yeah, and then what happens? The children go about, they be going through their day, um, feeling that way, and then it continues. 1 week becomes 2 weeks, and 2 weeks becomes three, and you find out that the children are they're getting depressed themselves. Of course, children also suffer depression. Number two is reduced academic or poor academic performance. Of course, academics do not only high performance do not only boil back or depend on a child's IQ. EQ matters as much as, or even sometimes more than IQ does, because a child who is sad will not be a good learner. A child who is feeling anxious will not be a focused learner. A child who is worried or scared or frightened will not be a good learner. You see, teaching may take place, but learning will definitely not occur. So it will also affect the teaching learning process. And it will be like the teacher doesn't know what he or she is doing, and then the school is a bad one. For you see how your burnout is causing a domino effect, a ripple effect on everything. Your child actually gets to suffer a lot. Not to talk of your spouse too, who would also, of course, be in front line of your firing squad. Number three is disrupted family dynamics. The things you used to do together, you no longer want to do. The things that used to, maybe there was movie night, you're not just in the mood. You don't feel like leaving your space. You just want to hide in your dark room and just be there by yourself, stewing in whatever emotion that has gotten you there. Not even, sometimes it's so comfortable that you don't even want a lifeline. You just want to be there. It's so dark that, like, the pit is so dark and deep and very, very, very deep that you just want to remain in there. You don't want help. And even when help comes, you fight it because somehow you have just gotten comfortable with being there, because the energy to take to now start pulling yourself out and getting back to positivity, you just do not even have it in the first place. So you will find out that you don't show up for maybe game night or movie night. You don't want to even take the children to the parks to play. You don't want to do anything that you usually would do with your spouse or with your children. That will be a very, very bad thing, a very, very big disadvantage to your children, because trust me, the big bad wolf will huff and puff and blow your house right down. Nobody wants that, right? The next one will be poor physical health. Now, if when you were very happy you used to make very delicious meals, what happens? You don't care. And anything just goes. You start to eat junk, you don't even notice. They don't take their supplements anymore, you don't care. You don't even notice because you don't have the zest. You're not just in the mind space to be a parent. You just want to be that you that is burned out and exhausted and stressed out. Sometimes this stress is not even emotional. Sometimes it's physical. Your body's paining you. You are still going. You still have to go for the next shift, and then you need to, because of course the bills are mounting and they have to be taken out and taken care of or sorted, right? So you're physically exhausted. You are stressed out. You are mentally just not in the right frame of mind, and then emotionally, of course, the biggest of them all, emotionally, you're not okay. What do you do? Hold on, we'll get there in a minute. All right. And then this cycle continues for a long, long time. Like I said earlier, 1 month becomes two, 2 months become three, and then 1 year later, there is a long cycle of negativity. like a very negative energy. It now becomes like a part of the family. There's just this dark air hanging around everyone. There's the home now lacks that love story, that vibrance, that joy it used to have. Ah, there used to be this feeling people get when they come to your home. Everywhere is peaceful and quiet and really, really very nice. But now when they come, somebody is smiling, okay, but then it's just not as it. You know what I'm talking about. I know you can relate. I know I like you know what I'm saying. You the home is just dark and gloomy. Yes, the light bulbs are on, but that joy that used to, that love, that oneness, that warmth that used to keep everyone together is just not there. And unconsciously this becomes the lifestyle, the culture in the home, and then the children are getting used to it because life is no longer just about you. The moment you made the decision to become a parent, you you lost the right to be sad and remain there. Even if ordinarily you wanted to just stew in your emotions, you lost the privilege or the right to do so because your actions or inactions are now affecting the little humans who are learning from you. Remember, you are a mentor, you are a guide, you are a map, and you're a mirror. The way you're handling things is what they are learning from. And like we always see here in the Lorry brand, monkey sees, monkey does. If you handle emotions correctly, they will take a cue from you. Most of the times, they will do as they see more than as you say, or more than as they hear you say. Your words, your shoe mouth, and like your mouth and your shoes must be headed towards the same direction. Your shoe mouth and your mouth must be saying the same thing. All right. If you're telling them, maybe they're throwing a tantrum, and then you say, really keep quiet or calm down. How? How do they calm down? Are you calming down yourself when you're angry? Are you calm yourself? Are you able to regulate your emotions yourself? You see, they are learning from you. And if at maybe 25, 30, 35, or 40, you're not able to control yourself, you're not able to control your emotions, don't you see now that it will be absolute witchcraft and wickedness to demand that a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old controls themselves when you, as learned, as old, as wise, as well read as you are, cannot do that yourself? See, this brings us to the strategies for overcoming or preventing burnout. First, the first thing on the list is creating a support system. Remember, like we said earlier, you know, according to James Clear, you do not rise to the levels of your goals; you fall to the levels of your systems. All right. If you do not have the systems in place to make sure that you rest properly, you you rest properly, you show up refreshed and energized, like with a lot of vigor, you will definitely will burn out. Do you need to get help? Are you in a country or community where you cannot get a living maid or a nanny or a housekeeper? Can you employ the services of somebody that will come and maybe clean the house maybe once or twice or thrice a week? Can you get maybe a nanny, drop your children off in a daycare center or a nanny with a nanny, and then go about your day and maybe rest? Sometimes even if it's the weekend, you can maybe make an arrangement with a daycare center, drop them off for a few hours, go home and rest. I remember when I started my parenting journey, I had this friend, God bless her kind heart. I usually would look for someone who's maybe a step ahead or two ahead of me, whatever area or level I'm on, and then learn from whatever they're doing. And she told me something that saved me a lot way back. She said, Laurie, house chores we never finish. Like they never just get up from your room now, go to the kitchen. There's something, no matter how orderly or organized you are, there's something that needs to be kept well. The spoon that you placed facing left is now it has been turned right. There's this prayer they pray in Yoruba weddings somewhere in Nigeria. During your wedding ceremony, they say, they pray for you that may you not meet the cup you kept on the table where you kept it. It simply means that may you have children, because definitely when you have a child, no matter how organized you are, especially when they're just growing, you'll definitely not meet your cup there. So that's like an indirect way of telling you, may God bless you with children. So when you have children, you definitely will always have chores to do. There'll be water where there's supposed to be none. There's always something to be done. So if you know from like just live with the reality of yes, that reality that chores will never finish. There is always a steady supply of never ending supply of chores. You first not you be able to handle things better. And then she said, Larry, you need to rest. Now, even if you have a heap of laundry to take care of, and then your dishwasher is full, or the sink is full, and then you have maybe to cook a meal. If you are really very tired and you find out that you can't even think straight anymore, just go and sleep. When you wake up, you'll be better. Even before I shot this video, I was feeling so exhausted. I was trying to um, put my scripts together, and I just was not, my brain was not complying at all. My body was going left, my brain was going right, my mind was just haywire. I just turned my laptop off, shut everything down, and went to sleep. And true to what she said, when I woke up, I was feeling a whole lot better. Even if you cannot shut down everything, maybe a cold shower, a walk in nature would help you feel better. Just find what helps you, all right, so that you'll be able to get back on track. And then next one is prioritizing self-care. You need to make sure that it is a part of your everyday life. A few minutes in a day will not hurt. Even if it's 30 minutes, there are binaural bits on YouTube that can even that can help you get in the frequency where your mind is at rest or you're very feeling very centered. Um, you can create some hours within the week, like pick a day of the week or some hours of a day in the week to rest. You can maybe plan vacations for a while. Now, self-care is very important. It's too important. It is not selfishness. It is very, very, very selfless of you to take care of yourself. Because if you are down, the whole family, one way or the other, will be down. All right? It's like when you're on a flight and then have you ever been on a flight and they tell you that when there's an emergency, you should put your oxygen mask on first before you try to help the next person. Don't be like a needle that goes about stitching other things but has a hole on its butt. Okay? Don't mind me. Here in Nigeria, we have a lot of adages and proverbs. I think that's the way we learn. We're very wise people, right? Right? Don't you agree? Okay, let's go on. So take care of yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And then the very wise John Obidi added, you can only truly pour from your overflow. If you're not full, you cannot even give. There's a limit to how much you can give, but when you're overflowing, you can pour into another cup and still have a lot more left for yourself. We talked about unrealistic expectations being a reason why you burn out. And now, to counter that, you must set realistic expectations. You can't live 36 hours in 24, right? You cannot live 5 years in three. It takes 5 years to be 5 years old. It takes 10 years to be 10 years old. Try to manage your expectations, okay? And make sure no matter how organized you are, that your schedules or your goals are flexible. Chances are that an act of God will happen. Something beyond your control will happen. Every day is not a mirror copy of the previous one or the one that is to come. So manage your expectations and give room, flexible room for happenstances or circumstances that just crawl upon you. That way you will not be too irritated or thrown off balance, all right? Oh, this one is a big one. Sometimes some people feel like when you ask for help, you are weak. Oh no, because it is very okay to ask for help. It is courage. It takes a lot of courage. It is bravery. All right. It is very audacious to ask for help. Like it takes a lot of guts to ask for help. Please, can you help me with this or that? Because you are being vulnerable, number one. You are risking the person you're asking for help. You are risking the chances of them saying no. Do you understand? But then, if you don't ask, how will you know? If you don't ask them, what if they say yes, actually? Right? Sometimes we should build a support system around ourselves. Maybe your friend can help you babysit while you sleep or go on that much needed date with your spouse so that you can actually, it's not every time you want to be, you are meant to be a parent. You are sometimes you, whatever your name is, first as a person, before you are now a wife, and then you're a parent, correct? So that you're an excellent parent does not mean that you should allow the ball drop in your marriage, or that you are an excellent spouse doesn't mean that you should not take care of your own self, because you can only truly pour from your overflow. Learn to take a break, an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, a day, a week, a month. Just take a break, but make sure you have the systems in place to so that things will not spoil, like we say in Nigeria, when you are away. Okay, learn to take breaks. Sometimes we, especially as moms, please, they're moms, you that are watching, have you ever had this feeling of wanting, like, I'm tired, oh God, I wish to be somewhere already. Let me take these children to summer school and then I'll be able to rest, or let me take them to their grandparents if they are still alive, or let me just take them somewhere to a camp or something so that they would rest. And then 30 minutes after they are gone, yes, they are beginning to feel guilty. Oh God, am I a bad parent? Am I wicked? Why did I send the children away? I wish they were here. Does it happen to you? Has it ever happened to you? Oh my God, it happens to me every time. I start second guessing myself. Should I have? Okay, now that I'm sleeping, what are they doing? Like you're sleeping and the next minute you just wake up and where are my children? What are they doing right now? Oh, but is it not you that wanted to rest in the first place? Now, please, when you finally get help, like you're on that break, live in the moment, enjoy, savor every moment of it, because you only live once. YOLO. Come on, beacons, you cannot take care of your children from a sick bed. When you're in coma, you cannot take care of them. When you're having a psychological depression, or you're just not present, you are exhausted, you're burned out, you're stressed out, you cannot take care of them efficiently. So that recharge is much needed. That rejuvenation, that recuperation, that revitalization is very, very much needed. So switch off that blame button and enjoy yourself. Put your feet up, put on some socks, get a bowl of ice cream. Well, if your doctor allows, or your fitness coach permits that, whatever rocks your boat, whatever makes you happy, you can maybe binge watch on Netflix, but make sure that it's something that is edifying, or somehow just helps you mentally relax. Okay, your self-care could be mental, it could be physical, it could be emotional. All right, it could be you just watching TV, it could be you reading a book, it could be you studying the word, it could be you sleeping, it could be you just not doing anything at all. Whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that helps you feel better. It could be you taking a cold or hot bath, it could be you going to swim, it could be you going out to a park yourself, or maybe going to play like a child. Allow the child in you to come out and play, and then enjoy the hours they are away, or the days of the weeks, or maybe a month that they are away. But make sure that it's not too long, because remember, you are a gardener and your garden needs to be nurtured. When they're with you, you are able to see seeds or weeds before they drop. Now that they are away, definitely one would have passed. Once a seed or two would have passed and landed on your garden, you need to quickly pull them out before they grow and have taproot. Okay, so don't make this break too long, so that you'll not start clearing your farm and planting afresh. Right? Have you gotten value from this video so far? If you have not subscribed, please do so. If you have not liked the video, please do so. To conclude, I want to ask, have you ever used a pressure cooker? The pressure cooker was designed in such a way that it could trap in pressure to cook whatever you put in it. Some of us here, we use it for beans, because beans takes a lot of time to cook, and a pressure cooker cuts down on that time. The valve stays locked, and then the pressure makes the food boil fast. And what happens maybe when your food is ready, to prevent the pressure cooker from exploding, you have to first carefully remove the valve and let off the steam. As you're letting off the steam, the pot is settling, right? Then you can now open it after a while and then enjoy your meal. That applies to parenting too. Sometimes it is very okay, it is very compulsory, very important, it is very pertinent, it is very sacrosanct that you remove that valve so that you let out the steam. If not, you will definitely explode. We do not want that for our beacons, right? Because you're special, you're co-creators with the Father, you're guiding lights, you're the map and the mentor and the one leading these children to that purpose God has called them for. We appreciate what you do. We celebrate you. Yeah, the Lorry brand. We're very grateful that you have accepted or you answered this call to be parents and excellent ones for that matter. We are we ask God to give you the grace, the strength, the wisdom you need. It's okay to ask for help, even if it's from a counselor or a therapist. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break. All right, and it is very, very okay to say, my children, I am tired right now. I need to sleep. When I wake up, we can get back to playing or doing whatever we have to do. They will learn too that you are very human and then they can be human too. If you got value from this video, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on it, and share with your loved ones so that together we will continue preaching this gospel of excellence in parenting. I'm very grateful to you for sticking it out to the end. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.